Hello, everyone. I am Demetra Kaye, and I hope that you are having a great day. Thank you for joining me on the African Diaspora News Channel, where it is my pleasure to spend this time with you. You can catch me here Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. Again, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time. And of course, on my own channel, the Demetra Kaye Show on Facebook and YouTube from Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Again, Sunday through Tuesday, 5 p.m. Central Time. Today, we're going to be talking about California Democrats may be punished at the polls due to Black voters finally waking up. This is going to be very interesting, and I'm so glad that we are starting to see our people wake up. But in the meantime, hey, Sister Shirley, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. While we're waiting for more people to trickle on in, just want to remind you where we will be in the near future. Of course, next month, May, we will be at the Ohio Black Expo in Columbus, Ohio, to be exact, May 23rd, along with so many other talented people. So you can find myself, Brother Phil, Sister Vicky, Sister Emma, Brother Kellen, where we're just going to have a great conversation with you all. So you must go to ohioblackexpo.com to get your tickets, ohioblackexpo.com to get your tickets, please, and thank you. Next, we will be in Toronto, Canada for the ADNC Narrative Power Summit, where we will have another great conversation with you on July 25th. Again, if you want to be there and just have a great conversation, please get your tickets at africandiasporanews.org/Canada, africandiasporanews.org/Canada, where we cannot wait to see you and just, have a great time. So thank you in advance. And then lastly, I feel like I'm doing some commercials here, which I am in a sense. We have our app, African Diaspora News Channel app, where you can go to your Google or your Apple Play Store to receive it. It is $9.99 a month, not a lot of money in comparison to a whole lot of things that you can spend $9.99 on. But if you're going to spend the money, please spend it with Black owned, spend it with us. As we have been told, Black Americans have less than 3% of the media that's out there. And so with this will help us boost up our media share, if you will. It is important to invest in Black media because this is where you'll get the news you can use about you, specifically catered to you and not watered down from everybody else. So please and thank you in advance. All right, so let's get into it. Aggie, what's going on with you? Mike Nice in the building, King Noble and Clowness. I am so happy to see you. Okay, well, I saw this article. Actually saw it trending in a few places, specifically from people who live in California. Okay, now I'm going to put this up. Now it is by that of Stephen O'Doontan, and it's from LA Focus. Basically, it says who's who's showing up for Black voters and who pays the price if they don't. Okay, now this is a really good article, and I'm going to summarize it for you. But it basically says Black voter disengagement raises stake in wide open governor's race. So this has to do with the race in California regarding the governor's race. From what I understand, originally it was like 40 something people running, but now it's dwindled down to only 10, if that ain't confusing, right? So nevertheless, I'm going to summarize it for you. And thank you to this brother for putting this together. But basically says the article says Black voter disengagement is growing, and many Black voters do not feel excited or motivated about the upcoming governor's race. This lack of enthusiasm could significantly impact who wins, especially in a crowded and unpredictable election. Again, because Gavin Newsom is termed out. He cannot run again. He may be trying to run to be the president of the United States. That means that we all could be in trouble, not just Californians. Anyway, now the main reason Black voters are not excited, it says number one, lack of outreach to Black communities. Many Black voters say candidates are not showing up in their neighborhoods. A Watts community leader says no candidates have visited, canvassed, or even held events. Residents said campaigns feel distant and disconnected from their daily lives. One voter said they're running, but they're not really here. So again, we know that they're running, but ain't nobody paying attention to Black folks in California. This is what they're saying, right? Now, says this has created a sense that Black communities are being ignored again. and again and again and again. Now, I added all the agains on there. He didn't, but I did. Number two, lack of trust in both political parties. Some Black voters say they don't trust Democrats or Republicans. One foundational Black American, and this is what he had identified himself as, right? So the word is spreading. Again, one foundational Black American said, voter rather said, I don't trust either party right now. He also said reparations is a key issue and candidates ignoring it are already eliminated for him. So he says if they're not talking about reparations, well, then don't talk to me, right? I'm not going to show up. So again, the word is spreading that if you ain't talking about reparations for Black Americans, then stop talking. Okay, you talk to everybody else you're going to show up for. Okay, now this shows frustration with both parties not addressing Black specific concerns. No secret there, right? Because that's just what they do. Number three, reparations are not being addressed. Black voters said reparations is important, but candidates are mostly talking about housing, crime, and affordability. Now, of course, that is for everybody. That's not just for Black folks, right? Because that's that people of color, the minority, the all lives legislation type of stuff, okay? So also, reparations is not a central issue in the race. No one's really talking about it in California or all over the country, except for if you're a Representative Jayapal there in Washington State, where she says she wants to get illegal immigrants reparations for the trauma that they've been through. Okay. Now, also says this has left some Black voters feeling their issues are not a priority. Candidates are avoiding Black specific concerns, and they are, okay, especially in California. And I'm going to get into a little bit more of that in just a second. Number four, feeling taken for granted. Community leaders said Black voters are tired of being used only during elections. One leader said engagement is transactional. Candidates show up only when they need votes. And we know that's true, not just in California, but all over, right? They say, hello, would you like some fish? Okay. Now, also, another political leader warned Black voters are tired of being taken for granted. That was a quote. Number five, lack of representation and visibility. There was also controversy when a major debate excluded candidates of color. This was the article saying. So what had happened was there was a debate at USC, and they only invited, from what it seemed to be, white candidates. So the other candidates were like, wait a minute, what about us? And nevertheless, the debate was scrapped altogether. I guess it was like, well, if we can't have all white people here, then we won't do it at all, I guess. Okay. So let's see. So, okay, the debate only stage ended up with white candidates. Critics said this sent a message about whose voices mattered. It hurt enthusiasm among voters of color. Number six, too many candidates. It says voter confusion. Again, it sounds like at one time it was like 40 something. Now it's 10. Some Black leaders said there are too many candidates. Voters don't know who to support. This reduces excitement and turnout. Number seven, economic concerns still not being addressed. Black voters cited key issues like economic opportunity, housing affordability, education equity, healthcare access, public safety with accountability. They say candidates aren't addressing these issues clearly because, again, that's that whole, well, this is for everybody. Okay, now we've seen, especially there in California, the everybody thing right now means illegal immigrants. Okay, that's who that means. At one point in time, Gavin Newsom was talking about health care for undocumented citizens, and they were going to spend about $2.6 billion to do it. That didn't go over well, and it sounds like they tabled that, right? And I'm going to show y'all some other stuff, okay? Now, why this matters. Experts warn that if Black voters don't show up, Republicans could benefit. 2 Republicans could even make the final ballot because the way it's set up in California, it doesn't have to be a Republican or a Democrat. It could be 2 Republicans. And right now, from what I see, 2 Republican candidates, very Republican, one being very MAGA, right? Chad Bianco, they are polling kind of at the top. So, it could be 2 Republicans. And we know that California is very, very blue. Okay. Now, so it says the election outcome could be shaped by Black voters' absence rather than strong support for any candidate. One NAACP leader warned Republicans may not win because they're stronger. They may win because Democrats don't show up. Okay. So just want to give you the summary of the article. Again, thank you to this dear brother for putting that article together. So again, Black voters there in California are like, get somebody else to do it, right? Because we have good reason not to show up, as I stated there. But I would say more importantly, the message is really disseminating from people like, myself here on the African Diaspora News Channel, Brother Field, Sister Vicky, and a whole bunch of other people in the space that are trying to wake our people up. And of course, it didn't start with us. There's this awakening has been taking place for a very long time. Well, I want to kind of go through some things as to why Black people in California, voters, I should say, might not want to do it. Firstly, we talk about this a lot, right? Benign neglect, a non-interventionist approach suggesting that reducing active government interference or oversight in a specific issue can yield better, more natural results. So basically, we know that was from Daniel Patrick Moynihan in the 1960s, 70s. He came up with a report called the Moynihan Report that basically looked into the ills, if you will, of Black America and why we needed help. But they decided to come up with the term benign neglect that says, well, we know they have issues, but we ain't going to do nothing about it. We're just hoping it'll go away, right? Close our eyes. Bury our head in the sand and maybe it'll just solve itself. Well, that hasn't worked. It has not solved itself. In fact, things for Black Americans have gotten worse due to the neglect, right? Not pooling resources and, our reparations and a whole host of other things. And so there in California, they have continued to use benign neglect. Now, I know we hear a lot about that coming from the Nixon administration, but Daniel Patrick Moynihan, or Patrick Daniel, one of the two, Moynihan, nevertheless, he was a Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, okay? Now, I know a lot of times people have that conversation with the KKK didn't start with the Democrats or did start with the Democrats, but that man was a Democrat and he decided, well, we'll just do benign neglect, okay? In case you were wondering. Next, Black voters in California might feel a little bit disengaged due to seeing things like this.
Mayor Bass.
Any comment, Mayor Bass?
Thank you.
Mayor Bass, any comment?
Yes, my comment is they need to leave, and they need to leave right now. They need to leave because this is unacceptable.
Who did you speak with?
Just wait and see.
Mayor Bass,
They will be leaving soon.
Mayor, who did you speak with on the phone just now? Who did you speak with on the phone? Wow.
Also, we're going to have a reinstitution of the Angelino card, something that Mayor Garcetti started during COVID that will actually provide cash assistance to people. Because, you have people who don't want to leave their homes, who are not going to work, and they are in need of cash. It's a couple $100. I don't know the exact amount.
Okay. So that was Mayor Karen Bass of Los Angeles, California. And it sounds like she's not polling that well either, right? Because she's running again for her second term. But that was her originally. She was in Leimert Park, where ICE raids converged upon Los Angeles, California last summer. And she was there in the park. Y'all need to leave. Get out right now. Now, of course, they were looking for illegal immigrants, right? Of course, y'all remember when Trump was campaigning? He says, hey, when I get up in there, we're going to do a mass deportation effort in juxtaposition to that of Biden's mass immigration effort. So once he got into office, he being Trump, that's what he did, right? He sent ICE, Border Patrol, and whatever else out there to round up people who were not supposed to be here. They were warned, hey, you might need to be getting on out of here. If you don't, we're going to get you on out of here. So Los Angeles, it popped off, and it popped off in a big way. And then, of course, with that, Karen Bass was like, okay, well, since, the illegal immigrants are afraid to go outside, we'll issue the Angelino card. The Angelino card was something that they used during the pandemic, and she decided to dust it off, right? And she says that it was going to be private donors, right? Private donors were going to be putting the money on the card, a couple $100 or so. She didn't really know, to give to these illegal immigrants that were afraid to leave the house, because if they left the house, they might get gaffled up by ICE. So she was going to help them out so they can, buy food and maybe pay some bills and something. Like, that's more than a couple $100, right? I don't know if they're still getting it, but that's what she did for the illegal immigrants. But ask if Black Californians got an Angelino card, because they need the money. Black folks need money everywhere, right? But did they get a card specifically for them? No, they did not. So that's probably a reason why Black Californians are like, I just don't see what's in it for me, right? WIFBA, what's in it for Black Americans? I don't see the reason to even do it. It just let them do it. Oh, the illegal immigrants cannot vote, right? Okay. Another thing. Now, this is an oldie but goodie, and as I said, I'm gonna keep showing this because repetition. Once we keep doing things that are repetitious, then we won't forget. Okay, because we need this message to disseminate about the Democrats. And listen, I feel like I need to say this. We know that the Republicans are no earthly good. They do not like Black Americans either, but we do not give Republicans our vote like we give the Democrats. Okay, I've said it. Now, Black Californians might feel like, well, y'all don't really care about us because you're doing stuff like this.
Just say this. They are targeting our leadership, both in the Latino community and in the Black community. And while they're targeting them and following them, I'm on the street and I'm following ICE and I'm targeting ICE. And I went to the deportation center. We are resisting. And I want to tell you, you are seeing the biggest coming together of the Black and brown community that we've seen in this city ever. We are organized. We are coalescing with each other, and we're going to fight together. And the question that you're asking, the protest must continue. You must not stop. I'm protesting. I've been to 11 of them. I stay on the street, in the alleys, wherever I need to be.
Now, ask yourself, have you heard about Maxine Waters being at 11? And this was like sometime last year. Have you, or maybe it was this year. Have you heard about her being at 11 protests for reparations for Black Americans there in California, especially since the California Legislative Black Caucus, which we're about to get to in a minute, decided that it was a multi-year study and they sabotaged reparations? Did you see Maxine Waters out there in back alleys looking for the California Legislative Black Caucus and Gavin Newsom for kicking Black Californians in the tailbone in regards to reparations? Nah, you ain't seen her out there. So that might be another reason why Black Californians is like, get somebody else to do it. Hey, Maxine, and she's running again too, right? She's up for re-election. Why don't you go get the illegal immigrants to do it, right? Just chasing ICE off. Oh, I forgot, they can't vote for you right now, right? And we know that, let's just say the Latino community, because that's what's mostly out there in California, they still don't vote for the Democrats overwhelmingly. They're kind of like that, right? So I don't know. Good luck, Maxine. Maybe, I don't know. Will Black voters show up? And then also on the article talking about, the Democrats may be in trouble because, again, they're assuming, and they're right to assume this, but that all Black voters are Democrats. I would probably say mostly, right? But not all. But there's that false sense of entitlement that, Black folks, if they don't show up, the Democrat may not win. What if those Black folks show up for the Republican? They might. It's their right to do that, right? They might not say that too loud because, people get mad as chili. Anyway, y'all also might remember this one because, there's a whole lot of reasons there in California why Black voters might just be.
Mr. Bryan, he's mad I brought up the reparations vote. So he's preventing me from speaking, and he's trying to block my access here. Why are you so upset?
You vote for 3 strikes, you put Black folks in prisons, but
here
now
for
you
3
want to be a
strikes.
reparations person. But you won't vote for the bill.
We should.
I
we should
supported the
have
bill
a
all
conversation.
session.
Then bring the bill.
Will you vote for the bill, Mr.
Bring the
Senator?
bill.
Will you vote for the bill?
Bring it up.
Will you vote for reparations?
Bring it
I
up.
would love it.
Bring it up.
Let's vote for reparations
Bring
together.
it up. Bring it up.
You in, Bill?
Bring it up.
I didn't think so.
Bring it up. I'll vote for it. Bring it up. I'll vote for it.
Again, that was Assemblyman Isaac Bryan, who was caught by Bill Esseley, who was in the assembly at the time. He was a Republican, but he's caught sabotaging reparations. That was August 31st, 2024, where the California Legislative Black Caucus was supposed to take those reparation bills to Gavin Newsom to either pass them or veto them. And they said, we ain't going to do none of it. We're not going to do none of the above. In fact, we're going to be running around here with our arms crossed. And then when it's all over, well, I don't know, we'll go outside where there was a whole bunch of black folks waiting to see what's going to happen. We'll go outside and say, well, you know, it just, like, what were you going to say? Were you going to lie? And he was out there, he being Isaac Bryan. Well, you know, we're going to keep on fighting. It's like, sucker, you didn't fight at all. You didn't do anything, right? So again, Black Californians are seeing that kind of stuff. Like, okay, y'all want us to go and vote, and then, you know, just bringing Gavin Newsom into the fold. He continuously thumbs his nose at Black Californians, right? So Black Californians are like, okay, y'all want us to show up and put the Democrat back in office to do what? To do more of what? Ignoring us, pretending we don't exist, romping and stomping around for illegal immigrants and everybody else outside of Black Americans. That's what you want us to do? No. And we're going to get to her in just a second, okay? Now, speaking of the California Legislative Black Caucus, this is kind of newer, if you will, and hot off the press. Well, as you see here, there's a bill in California that will cover legal costs for illegal immigrants. You heard it right. Legal costs for illegal immigrants, right? Now, this is Mia Bonta. And basically what it says is Assembly Bill 2600, proposed by Assembly Member Mia Bonta, Democrat from Oakland, would expand access to publicly funded attorneys for individuals facing immigration proceedings in California, okay? So that means that's taxpayers' money that she wants to put up, and she is Puerto Rican, okay? So she, I guess, is Afro-Latina, right? Now, she also is a part of the California Legislative Black Caucus, and she was also there in 2024, where they said, it's a multi-year study, where she was also there, where they decided not to put the bills before Gavin Newsom to sign or veto them. Yes, she was there, but she also wants to propose legal representation, right? That's funded by California taxpayers for illegal immigrants. And this is what she said even more so regarding that. Every person deserves their day in court with a lawyer by their side. In California, thousands of our neighbors are being swept into one of the most complex legal systems in the country, often in a second language, without an attorney or a fair shot. The Trump administration's mass deportation machine is accelerating that injustice. AB 2600 represents California's chance to stand up for our values, a commitment to due process, dignity, and the principle that justice shouldn't depend on what you can afford. Excuse me, lady? How you gloss over in that little paragraph that they're illegal immigrants and that they're here illegally, but you want them to have a fair shot and all this other stuff while you kicking Black Californians in the tailbone as you sit on the California Legislative Black Caucus, not doing a doggone thing for Black folks, but you talking like that? But you want Black Californians to spend money so that how many Black Californians, I'm from California, okay? How many Black Californians could go to her and say, listen, I done got into some little legal, trouble. I got into a dust up. I had a run in with the police. Can I get some money from this fund? Then what do you think her answer would be? Her answer would be, I know, we gotta see where we get the money. I don't know what we're gonna do. And if you was Black in California and needed some legal help, yeah, you could get a DA or public defender. You can get a public defender, but come on now, we know how that ends up most of the time. How about this plea deal? Okay, that's how it ends up most of the time. But she is fighting for illegal immigrants to get legal assistance from taxpayers who funded. I have to just take a break on that one. Okay, I'm back from break. And then they wonder why. Black Californians are like, get somebody else to do it, right? What's in it for me? See, because I'm gonna be told I'm crazy by somebody, right? Somebody gonna say, "Oh, you tripping," or we might hear, as Brother Phil say, Boule Martin talk about how we this, we that, we anti-black, and they just right. And then somebody gonna say that, but as I'm showing y'all, do we blame black folks for not wanting to show up for the Democrats? Like, black people will be blamed for that, right? If a Republican gets in, and some people say, hey, maybe the Republicans need to get in and straighten California back. I don't know, right? But if they get in, you know what they're going to say? Oh, well, black people didn't show up. Black voters didn't show up. They simple Simons. They idiots, and they woo, everything but a child of God, but never addressing none of this stuff I'm talking about. They're not going to address that because we're just expected just to show up, right? Y'all remember that lady when they was talking about the infusion? Because I don't know if we can still say that when the pandemic was going on. I don't know if I'm gonna find it one day. It was this black lady. She had a whole bunch of white men behind her. This old, Gloda Dean. She was like, I'm gonna stick out my arm. I'm not gonna ask what's in the infusion. I'm just gonna take the infusion. And I don't even know if she's still with us. I don't know. But that's what they want black voters to do. Don't ask what's on the ballot. Don't ask what's in the booth. Just go in there and check blue no matter who. All the way down, just check blue. Don't ask what the blue gonna do for you. Just keep on checking. That's what they want you to do. They don't want you to question these things that I'm showing you, right? Okay. Now I got one more thing. Black people in California probably just like, get them to do it, right? Now, this is an article from June 2023, and it says, an obstacle to black reparations in California is to convince the Latinos and the Asians. Okay, now it says a California panel has recommended reparations. This is before they did the sabotaging. Okay, a California panel has recommended reparation payments for up to $1.2 million for some black residents, but advocates face an uphill battle in gaining the support of the state's Latino and Asian residents. Why? Why y'all hate us so much? We ain't did none of y'all, but I've seen them. Well, that's our tax dollars. Why shouldn't we do A, B, C, and D? They weren't slaves, and we didn't own no slave. They taking on the language of the oppressor now, right? So, yeah, they're in California. The people who will benefit the most from the Democrats, I'd imagine, they don't want to help black folks, but guess what? Black folks will help them. How, you say? Because black voters vote the most for the Democratic Party. Follow me here. And the Democratic Party helps everybody else but black folks, specifically black Americans, the most, right? So here's the Asian and Latino community in California saying, well, we don't want to, we don't think, and we don't understand why. But they'll get direct help from black Americans because of how we vote. We vote for our own demise to help everybody else, okay? That's how you have a Karen Bass that says, I'm going to get an Angelino card for them because, the illegal immigrants, because they're afraid to come outside. When we know that there's a lot of black Americans there in California at one point in time, especially Los Angeles, that were afraid to go outside because it had Latino gang members, the NKs, y'all can fill in the blank, can't say that on here, had the NKs that was targeting black folks. How many of them were afraid to go outside? And they heard about some Molotov cocktails going through black folks' windows at the hands of Latinos. How many of them were afraid to go outside? I wonder, and I know Karen Bass wasn't the mayor then, but how many of them got a Angelino card and said, hey, no, it's kind of dangerous in these streets, but we're going to help you here. You don't even have to lead it. No, we didn't get that, right? So there's going to be this shock and awe if black Californians don't show up for the Democrats. Listen, I can't tell people what to do, but if I was still in California, I wouldn't be doing it. For what? And then lastly, California's favorite home girl. Y'all know who that is? It ain't me. I know a lot of people think it's me, but it's not. Here we go.
Policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
That was California's favorite homegirl, okay? And I call her homegirl because that's what the black folks there that were in Sacramento, they were waiting for those bills to be signed or vetoed or whatever it was. When they found out that the sabotaging went on, one of them said, "Oh yeah," he was talking to the California Legislative Black Caucus. "Oh yeah, your homegirl, yeah, she gonna pay for that." Now, mind you, she was running to be the president then, right? And they said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make sure she pays for that. Since this is the games y'all want to play with us, we're gonna make sure she pays." But before she went to be the vice president of the United States, she was a senator there in California. She sure was, and that was 2019, as she was still the senator, sitting up there saying she ain't gonna do nothing specifically for black folks or people. No. So yeah, black Californians, they don't forget all of that. That all of this is a conglomeration, if that's even a word, right? A conglomerate of things and reasons as to why black Californians are saying, get somebody else to do it. Like, what's really in it for me? Right? But what's in it for black Americans? Oh, nothing. So, okay, I just want to repeat this because it bears repeating. I, as a black Californian who probably is a Democrat, I'm expected to show up for the Democrats. Yeah. Am I going to get a fish fry? I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to show up for the Democrats. Yes. The Democrats going to show up for everybody else. Is that right? Well, what we'll do is we'll do these little online people of color minority bills where, we'll say it's for you, right? But then it's going to be for everybody. So the short and the long answer is hell no. We're not going to do anything for you specifically. Why are you expecting us to do it now? We ain't been doing it for the last 60 years. And now you're getting, if I'm the Democrats, right? And now you're getting brand new. No. So black Californians, and I'm hoping black people all over the country are starting to wake up and say, if you feel like you'll be punished because we didn't show up, then so be it. But you've been punishing us for not showing up for us. So why can you do it and we can't do it? But lastly, the solution is this. Before I get into the comment section, this is a building, the 5-story building that has been illustrated by Dr. Claude Anderson, that basically says these are the things that we need to do. We need to build the economic foundation so that we can buy into politics and the justice system. We can buy our own media, own and control all of that. So we'll have more than 3%, right? And of course, we need to fix our education, build schools and all of that, right? We start doing these things, then we'll start having less of these conversations because the Democrats and the Republicans will say, "Oh, them black Americans, they are not for play, right? They got their thing rocking and rolling. They are recycling their dollars more than 6 hours. They're not giving it to everybody else. They're not buying clothes and shoes and cars and a whole bunch of other stuff they don't need. They saving their money. They're just doing it all, right? They are doing for self. They are up, you mighty nation, accomplish what you will. So we're gonna have to. Hello, Black Americans. How y'all doing? How you doing, big head? Yeah. We know we've been neglecting y'all for a while, but we're here to talk. And we're like, we don't want to talk, okay? What are you here to do? Oh, okay. Y'all know those reparations you was talking about? Well, here you go. We're ready to give it to you. Hate crime bills, yeah. It's we've signed it. There you go, y'all. Yeah. That's when all that'll happen. But until we get our thing together, we'll continue to talk. And I'll be real honest with you. I'm about tired of talking. And that might be because it's at the end of the week and today is my last day to talk. I'm butting my mouth for a couple of days. But we need to start really putting things into action. But I will say, reading that article, it really made my heart sing because I'm like, you go, Black Californians. You're making me proud, as that is my home state. You're making me proud. You really are. We are starting to wake up, and the Democrats need to quaker in their boots for a very long time for what they have done and not done for their most loyal group of voters. So anyway, let me see what y'all got to say. I'm a little overly happy because it is my Friday. I still got work to do, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's see. Who else haven't I seen? Edward, what's going on with you? Grand rising to you. Michael, what is up? Black first. Let's see. Let's see. JJ in the building. What's going on with you? Just skip it down. Y'all all talking to each other. That's fine. Y'all talk to each other. You ain't got to talk to me. Anton, what's going on? Hope you have a great day. Albie, chill. How are you doing today? Carlos, what's going on? It says leave California fast as you can. Well, I'm not there anymore. You know, honestly, I'd love to go back to California, but I don't recognize California at all anymore. It's just, there's a lot going on there. You know, you hardly see any black folks. Hell, you hardly see any white people. I think white people more so kind of like in your orange counties and places like that. Yeah, it's just California is just, it's different. And I've only been gone about 5 years now, almost 5 years. And it's different. But a lot of black people are leaving California. They're actually coming to places like Texas, in the South. I think now there's more black folks in the South, more so than anywhere else in the country, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, there are a lot of people, not just black people, a lot of people are leaving California. It's like, we can't do it. You can't. You gotta, you know, mortgage off your firstborn to even go to the grocery store. So yeah. Let's see. Renz, how you doing? Gina, what's going on? He says, why they in the house? It is a government property. He says, and I don't know what that means. Probably something I said, but forgive me. Maybe it'll come to my memory. Silverback, what's going on? He says, I never see no black arena card. No, you ain't gonna see that. You're not gonna see black folks get no black Angelino card, right? That's what it is, black Angelino. You ain't gonna see that. Karen Bass, who's supposed to be a black mayor, she legislates for everybody but black folks. You won't see that. And she is gonna full well expect for black Los Angelinos to show up for her. She's gonna expect that. And if she doesn't win, which she might not, I don't know. She doesn't win, they'll blame black people. They sure will. How dare them not show up? Oh, she's a black mayor. They'll blame black Angelinos for not showing up. But Karen Bass has illustrated the whole time she's been there, I'm not going to show up for no Negroes. No, right? It's all about the Latino around here. And if they're illegal, the better. That's what Karen Bass has been doing. But black folks will get blamed. And you know what? The Latino ain't going to show up for her 90%. Like black folks show up for the Democrats. They'll probably, like, again, 50, 49, 51, something like that. Ain't nobody gonna, be on their bumper at all about it. And they're gonna benefit the most from Karen Bass being in office. I wish I lived in Los Angeles. I would not vote for her 10 times if I could, right? I did say not vote for her. You know what, JJ, you better stop. Maxine is in her 80s, okay? She ain't gonna have she gonna have a couple of wrinkles. Albert Chill said, no, we ain't gonna call her that either. Y'all be, I know Maxine Waters ain't really been, feeling black Americans like that, but we gotta be respectful, I think. Oh, Carlos, you said that's a lie. I live in California. She's a liar. Who is a liar? Because I know you ain't calling me a liar, boo-boo. I'm California born and raised. So you ain't calling me no lie. I don't care where you live in California. I'll speak the truth. And you prove me to be a liar. If you're talking about me, okay, I won't get too excited. Because when people call me a liar, I want you to prove me to be that. Okay? If you prove me to be a liar, I will fully concede to what you're saying. But you coming in here calling me a liar, yeah, I'm going to need you to back that up, homie. Darnell, how you doing? Says, listen to that foolishness. The Hula Gang, what's going on with you? And I know I'm belabored in these comments, so please forgive me. James, how you doing? Says, Mad Maxine, too busy getting paid. Yeah, she been there a long time and she gonna run again. I was listening to Al Sharpton on his radio show the other day, and I called in and asked about reparations. I got through, but he didn't put me through. I wonder why. And he says he don't think Maxine is too old to run. She still got something going on, right? She still knows something. And these young people, they got to learn. It's like, Texas Barabbas, how you doing? Says Democrats are replacing us with Latino migrants, giving them everything, but we get zero. Stop voting for Democrats. Wake up. I mean, to me, that would be the logical line of reasoning. We kind of a little bit too emotional as black voters. And Brother Phil was actually talking about that last night. We got to get up out of our emotions. We have to. Carlos, she says, I have a plain wish our black leaders would listen to their folks. Okay. They won't, though. We're not making them. We just vote for them anyway. They don't have to listen. Because we're not making them listen. We just show up because they black. I'm black, you black. Nubian King, how you doing? Says, what leaders? And you're asking Carlos, black perspective, what's going on? Says, I just shared on my Facebook. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Kevin, how you doing? Says, Bill Godson for Assembly District 55. Yes, indeed. Let me put that comment up there and I need to actually get back with Billion. He is running to replace Isaac Lion Bryan, who was caught with his arms crossed, helping to sabotage reparations. He needs to be replaced. As they say, get up out of that seat, right? He needs to get up out that seat. And I have another video coming out later on this week that'll illustrate that more and show more Billion Godson's campaign stuff. But yeah, that brother's boots on the ground has been, not just because he's running, he's always been that, right? Helping out black folks there in Los Angeles in the district. And Isaac Bryan is running around being Mr. Congeniality. How y'all doing? Oh, there's an event. Okay, give me the mic. Where God stood, you better thank a union member. He's just showing up. That's all he's doing. Not showing up to do nothing. But for illegal immigrants, you could bet your bald head because he got one. Yeah, he'll show up for them. He's in the streets. He's marching. He's locking arms. He's like, bruh, what about black Americans? Because we saw what you did to them. You sabotage reparations, but you're going to show up and march against ICE. And, ICE out of LA, we need to defund ICE. But then when it comes time to election time, you're going to try to show up at parades. And I hope that Brother Billion and them, Africa Town Coalition, to show up right behind you and say, yeah, you need to get on out of here. I really do. I cannot stand him. Anyway, but yes. ES official, what's going on? Says Booker T. Washington used the saying, Booker T of WWE. I was like, he did? WWE used to sing, can you dig it, sucker? I can dig it. I might have to take that. Buck Horse in the building. How you doing? Hard hitting something. How you doing? It's a legal coverage for illegal immigrants. Make it make sense. Can I ask y'all a question? I be having to readjust myself because I be doing a lot of that when I'm talking. Why do they feel, and I still have it up here, what would make her feel that we would be all right with that? What would make her feel that we would be all right with them digging up in the coffers to get money to help illegal immigrants by a lawyer to help them stay here and they done been here illegally? Why does she think we're okay with that? Again, she's part of the California Legislative Black Caucus. She's Puerto Rican. She's Afro-Latina, but she thinks we're okay with that. And in a sense, she might be like, well, what they gonna do? Who gonna check me, boo? I'm sure that's what she thinks. I don't know. Kevin, he says, Camilla Moore, did the study in California. Yeah. And she got blindsided too. She didn't know they were going to do that. She sat on the commission that 2020, they spent millions of dollars to do it. She didn't know that they were going to do that. Stephen Bradford, who also was part of it, he's a senator at the time, state senator, he's termed out. He didn't know they were going to do it either. But it was done. They said it was a multi-year study. Oh, we did get some things. We got a Crown Act, so you can wear your hair to work the way you want to wear it. Got an apology. Yeah, you did. We're sorry. You forgive us. So, yeah. I guess. Let's see. Illiteracy rules the world. Damn, I hate that. Illiteracy rules the world. It says, makes you wonder, when will our people that vote for them realize they're only doing for their own group of people, definitely not Black Americans. We starting to do it now, right? Me, you, everybody. We got to continue to have these conversations like, hey, did you know Did you know when you vote for the Democrats, they do for everybody but you? See, we got to keep having these conversations. John T was going on, says the Democrats take our vote for granted. Do not vote for them. Make sure that they never see the White House, the Senate, or the House again until they keep their word to us. I'm with it. I am with it. Listen, I used to be a Democrat. My God. I used to be a staunch Democrat. I used to, inculcate all of the talking points and they're for the people. The Democrats are the party of black people. I'm not gonna lie to kick it. I used to be like hard to paint. And then one day I woke up. I was like, yeah, well, that was stupid. I'm just speaking for myself, okay? So, but we got to keep speaking. Anton says our government is a joke with clowns in office. Well, we keep going to the circus, do we not? You only mostly see the clowns at the circus, or if you watched it in the drain, or I don't know, but you usually got to go to the circus to see the clowns. So we got to stop buying tickets to the circus. Carlos, you said we leaving, forget Cali. Yeah, but then what happened if we see people who leave California, they go to other places with that same mentality, then eventually the other places become California. So you can't just leave. You have to have a change of mind. We have to start operating logically, because you'll just continue on where you go, right? And that's why a lot of people are starting to say Texas is like California, something is becoming like that because of people leaving from California. Jeanette, how you doing? Says, have you heard that African Americans in North America are born and more than all know who they are? Emotions are now ruled by the mind that makes sense of who they are by DNA, not ego to things. Okay. I mean, it's not because I don't have time to decipher rather the comment, but I could dig it. Buckhorse says they mad at Black Americans and found a way to send us to war. Yeah, when you enlist to the white man's army and your number is up, you gotta go. Kind of the way it works, right? Okay. I'm just reading some of the comments. Primo, what's going on? Says, yeah, they ain't got no business in our business. Nope. Let's see. Skipping down because I want to make sure I try to get everybody. Y'all Saint, how you doing? Says your vote means nothing. They selected, not elected. Wake up, people. The left or right could give a damn about us. I agree with that as well, right? But while they're selected, they in there doing for everybody else but us, right? So they may be selected, but they still got to get elected. So I think both of those things are true. They're not just selected and say, hey, forget the election. Okay, we're putting them in office. Y'all don't need to show up to vote. No. We're not going to vote this time. We're just going to put them in office. In a sense, like they did Kamala, right? She wasn't primary. She didn't get in office. She tried. But so I hear what you're saying, though. Dean, I hope I said the right. How you doing? Says, how many times are they going to study, quote unquote, reparations? Newsom keeps moving the goalposts because he knows that blacks won't vote for the Republicans. Yeah. But he gonna keep on moving them, and he gonna find out the hard way, especially if he try to run for the president, which many think that he will. He's trying to be the president in 2028. Keep on with that, right? We're gonna keep on waking people up. I know they don't want us to, right? Especially a lot of the Democrat shields. They say we anti-black. Like, when did wanting people to be conscious become anti-black? Is it anti-black Democrat shield? I'll be for that. But anti-black, because you're trying to wake black people up. You're not trying to keep them asleep. That's anti-black? New to me. Cool. BR, what's going on? Says blame the black politicians in California, but they can't be the black politicians without the black vote. See, I'm about accountability as much as I can be. And we have to own that. Maxine Waters ain't getting into office because she just, a lovely lady, which I'm sure she probably is. She getting in there because one, we're voting for her, or we're not voting enough to keep her out. I mean, she's been there since 91. And if you live in Los Angeles, can you think of anything she's done for you as a Black American? I don't know. Kevin, yes, Brandy Kane. Miss Brandy Kane is out there with boots on the ground as well with Africatown Coalition. We love them dearly because they are doing the work. Salute, how you doing? Says jealousy is real. We must not help none of those turncoats. Yeah, very jealous, very hateful of Black Americans who have done absolutely nothing to nobody. We're just trying to survive the game. That's all we're trying to do. But people don't want us to survive the game, I guess. Joseph, what's going on? Says stay home. And I can't say that part, what you said. He says, but F the Democrat Party. Yeah. Because they've said it to us, right? Okay, the skipping down. Travis, what's going on? You put up a devil. What's really going on? Carlos, you crazy. Talking about laughing my A off. I keeps me a bottle of hot sauce in my in my mama purse till she popped me for doing it. I think you're mimicking that of Kamala and Hillary when she says she keeps hot sauce in her bag. And then Charlemagne says, well, people going to say you pander. And she says, well, it's working. Nevertheless, she didn't get in office either, even though she got a lot of votes, right? Bijou, I hope I said that right. How you doing? Says, now y'all want to come over to America after the fact. Next, how you doing? Says, great ideas, but unfortunately, when Black Americans have done for ourselves, they destroy it. Yeah, but we ain't there no more, right? We're not there at Black Wall Street in 1921 or even before that. We had 1,200 Black towns during that time. We're not there anymore. We're not necessarily punks either. We ain't no punk. They know they can't just do to us what they used to do, right? But even if they did, we don't stop trying. Like, we're not no quitters. We keep trying. But see, we have to divorce ourselves from the oppressor. We refuse to do that. We feel like, I need you, Big Daddy. Big Daddy, I need you. We don't need Big Daddy oppressor. They need us, which is partially why they don't want us to leave, even though they say, we're tired of Black folks. We want to have our own white communities. Great. We want you to have your own white communities, but let us have our own Black communities without your interference. So when we start waking up and spending our money, it's not just white people, it's everybody. It's Asians, it's Arabs, it's Indians, it's Hispanics. They all get our money. So we have to separate, not because we hate everybody else, but because we love ourselves. That's what I think delineation is really about. It should be anyway. Everybody else love themselves. They love spending their money with each other, living next to each other, going in each other's business. That's love. That's what love looks like. See, when we start loving ourselves, we start spending our money and doing group economics, then, as I said, these conversations will be less and less. We'll be talking about, well, which Black grocery store you like the best? I don't know. I like them all, but over there, they food, they got a little bit cheaper. But we talking about Black businesses, not, different other people businesses. So, yeah. Michael, how you doing? Says, no hate crime bill for people who have been here for 400 years. No. But we should have one. We are the most endangered group of people still. But everybody else gets one. And they say that we are the boogeyman. Doja 21, what's going on with you? Hope you're doing well. Let's see, who else haven't I seen? I am so sorry. I be really trying to get everybody, your world, my world, what's going on? Says Trump is the best. I'm voting for him. I mean, I don't know if he's the best. He's what we have right now. I mean, he's done some things that are helpful to Black Americans, like the mass deportation. That helps us, right? But the best? J.W. Keith, what's going on? Says still here, and it is different. Yeah, you talking about California. I mean, my family is out there. And, since my dad passed away in December, I really don't feel like going to California. I have to. All my rest of my family's there. But, my daddy ain't there no more. So I could really be anywhere on Mars as far as I'm concerned. Going down. John, well, you have a great weekend as well. I thank you for that. Thomas, what's going on? Says if the majority of Hispanics in California are illegal, I'll say immigrants, says, and can't vote, then we FBA black people who vote religiously still have the power at the polls. Yes. Yes. They want you to believe we don't, but we do. If we didn't, then why are we being guilted into doing it? Oh, you're anti-black. You're talking bad about the Democrats and the Democrats. And you're supposed to. You can't let the Republicans. If our vote didn't matter, then why are they bugging us and leave us alone? If it didn't matter, of course it matters. We got the power. Imagine if, I don't know, 10% of black voters that normally vote for the Democrats said, I mean, even like with Trump got, a lot of the black vote, more so than any Republican candidate for president in the modern day era. Right? But just if we thought that way with the Democratic Party, maybe not a Republican, maybe it could be somebody independent. I don't know. In some cases, you can write in a candidate. But if we did that, then they'll really start to say, oh, Black Americans are waking up. That's a problem for us, right? Tia, hope I said it right. How you doing? Says, I'm just arriving in I'm in California. What y'all talking about? Yeah, California, California, I don't know. It's a great place to be. You corny, how you doing? You got on some Mexican flags, okay? Viva la Mexico. Mike, how you doing? Says, not going to happen in California. Blacks don't have the numbers. Oh, I guarantee you, we stop voting, we'd have the numbers. We have a whole lot of things. If we stop voting for more of nothing, you bet your bottom burrito we would have the numbers. I know it's not as much of us there, less than 6%, but it still matters. The Democrats still need us. They do. You corner says, Viva Mexico, you don't like it, move out. Well, then y'all be mad at black folks for voting for Trump. See? That when you talking greasy and you spicy in your mouth, that's why a lot of black folks went to the polls. See, we don't care about, what the black boule shield say. We don't care. But your comment right there is why a lot of black folks are starting to say, I won't vote for another Democrat. If a Republican got to get up in there, then so be it. That's why. Because a lot of the people in California that are illegal immigrants, they can't vote, but we still can vote. And we ain't going no damn where unless we want to. But guess what? We citizens. A lot of your people ain't. So you best be having that conversation with your people. That's why I'm saying black Californians, hold the line. Because you got people like that who will thumb their nose at you. Nah, if you don't like it, leave. Because we taking over. And you helping us do that. So I'm going to put this up here so you can see it. Because I don't, want y'all to think I'm making or something. Kevin, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let me just keep on going. I'm going to leave that comment up there so y'all can see it. Maria, what's going on since 64, raising California projects and would yell La Migra. What? It's coming and I still do. MAGA. See, you got people like that. It's like, I'm going to be MAGA because you corny, you spicy in your lips. And you making black people mad. Hey, Brother Perry, how you doing? I hope you're doing well today. Maxine, how you doing? Says, what is wrong with Dems when they are going to work? When are they going to work on the behalf of the people instead of the donor class? Well, when we make them, right? When we make them. See, he doing stuff like this. I just want to remind y'all, especially if y'all in California, that's what they got going on. They thumbing their nose at you. They don't think you bought that life. They taunting you. They saying, hey, if you don't like it, then you could leave. You could leave. You're a resident, a citizen of California, and they telling you could leave if you don't like it. And I would just say just plain old foolish. Plain old foolish. I want to say something stronger, but I'm not. It's just plain old foolish if we continue to show up for that. The disrespect. Not disrespect, but disrespect We show up for the disrespect, right? I wouldn't show up for that. I wouldn't do it. Deacon, how you doing? Says y'all. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that, but yeah. Natalie says never voting Democrats again. I'm just telling you, you know. I don't really like tell people who to vote for, but you can see what voting for is getting us. It's getting the nah. If you don't like it, you can leave because we taking over, right? That's why that whole little I got to go. I'm running out of time, but that whole little birthright citizenship argument thing, you know, it's people like let me find it for you. Where'd it go? I can't find it. Oh, here you go. It's people like this that won't fight you for your birthright citizenship. Right now, it's in the Supreme Court whether they'll be able to benefit from it more than you as a Black American, or as Trump says, the babies of slaves. They want to fight you over it and tell you if you don't like it, you can leave. I wouldn't vote for that. Just telling you what I wouldn't do. Anyway, I do love y'all. I will see y'all next week, Tuesday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Central Time on this channel, and then Sunday on my channel, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Central Time. So in the meantime, you have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Peace.